You're such an asshole.
Hello, children. We got questions, always questions. Cabby's always got answers as long as there's some money. And since money printer went burr and you're all being raised by single moms, business is never going to end. Never going to end. Just isn't going to happen. Dear Mr. Clary, should I move 6 to 8 hours away to move out of my parents' place or buy a mobile home in the city I currently live? Anonymize me. I want a video response. Quick summary. I'm 26 and I work as a full-time evening, the low-level entry thing for 2 years because it paid better than working in accounting and bookkeeping. I never pursued a CPA. That's my fault. Due to working conditions increasingly worsening over the years, mainly union fees exceeding our yearly pay raises, people are quitting to the point when even the old timers are taking early retirement. I'm currently taking a truck driving course to have a brighter future. Before I wanted to change cities, I thought it would be best to stay home with my parents for a couple more years so I can make a decent down payment for a small house. But I've lived in the city I'm in for 21 years. And I'm okay, so you're 26. Okay, I want to make a change of scenery. I have a friend who lives 68 hours away. He told me I would get a job as a truck driver pretty quickly. He would let me crash for 2 weeks until I found a place to move in. My worry is I wouldn't find a cheap room or apartment to move. Well, let's stop right here. There's a problem. If you're a truck driver, like, driving around the country, not like just driving locally, why would you move? You're going to be living from the road and you're not going to be home that much at all. I don't even know why you'd bother. I mean, you could crash at the guy's place to go interview. So you just pack up a backpack, but I wouldn't rent an apartment or anything like that. Then your folks' place turns into storage and you maybe visit them every once in a while when you're not trucking. My worry is I wouldn't find a cheap room or apartment to move in because my hobby, carving stones. If I lived in an apartment, I would get noise complaints. Yes. If I rented a room, the owner wouldn't want stone dust in the house or wouldn't let me use their garage. Do I accept the fact that if I move to a different city, I will have to put my carvings on hold for years until I can buy a house? Or should I stay where I live and buy a small house so I can carve? Okay. Sometimes you don't get to do what you want in life. Yeah, it's kind of sad. So yeah, sometimes you get like, I want to eat and get fat, but then I won't get the girls. Cappy, how do I eat and get fat yet still get the girls? Like, you don't. So unless you're making a lot of money on these stone carvings, which you're probably not, because I too am a lapidarist. There's a 50-cent word Rollo doesn't know. No. And that's a fine hobby, don't get me wrong, it's even a hobby I participate in, but all my hobbies come second to, like, supporting myself and never living at home. And whereas I'm all okay, like, yeah, stay at home, live at home until you save up a down payment on a house, that makes sense, I'm with you there. Or you go become a truck driver, and then you, just kinda leave your stuff at your parents' place. Okay, I think that might solve your problem because then you get back home, your parents' home, and then you could go ahead and do your lapidary work. And then you don't have to rent a place. So I think the truck driving thing kind of solves most of your problems. But just so you know, okay, yeah, life involves opportunity cost and giving things up. And no, cutting stones it's a hobby, it's fun, it's relaxing. It's not a job, and it's not what adults do and change their life decisions around their hobby. Support yourself first. Get your own place. Yes, if you go to a roommate situation, they will complain. You should not bring your rock cutting equipment. And yes, if you rent a house and you cut stones, yes, that dust will get all over the place. Yes, it will. And no, you shouldn't do that. Like I mean, the artwork that you see, that's been sitting for the better part of a decade in boxes that I haven't been able to put up because I didn't have enough room. Didn't have enough room in my place to put up all the art. Um, so you could stay where you live and buy a small house. Okay. If you get the truck driving job and it is over the road, like long haul, live wherever you want. I wouldn't even buy a house. I just like you're not in your folks' place that much anymore. They probably save up even more money. And then when you're done driving truck, and then when you're driving truck, you could stop in at different places. Like, oh, I really like Utah. Oh, I really like Tennessee. Oh man, I got to go to Canada. I think I want to go up to the Canadian Rockies. Then buy a house at those places. But you're not in a condition to just buy a house yet. You don't even have a job. I mean, you got a job, but it's not a real one. And you keep like, oh, maybe I'll try it. Oh, okay. Or you just keep living at home, work at the current job you got, and slowly build up money for a house. Been carving since the 7th grade, and nowadays occasionally carve stones thanks to paid commissions. All right, you're making a little bit of money. I truly see myself carving what I actually want to carve on a consistent basis once I move out. I'm not sure if I'm being a townie or moving to a different city is best for me in the long term. So that's why I'm paying Asshole Consultant. I want advice from someone who has experience. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. This is succinct as I can make it with no text. Okay. You, right now, if you're going to become a truck driver, I would not even bother moving out of your folks' place. Go crash with your buddy for 2 weeks. Go get your truck driving, so your CDL. Go drive truck, travel the United States, then worry about buying a house. If you're not going to do that, or the truck driving is going to be local, all right, yeah, you should move out. All right, so if that means you got to go crash with your buddy or in some place or a room, give up the stone carving, be an adult, be a man, and go forth and leave your parents' place and go explore and live and figure things out. But you know, like, well, I'm going to buy a house. You don't even know where to live. Dude, you haven't even traveled. You don't even know where you want to live. So keep working, keep saving money. And then after you've traveled a little bit, whether that's through truck driving or you save up the money to go travel, then go buy a house. But, yeah, and a house is a serious responsibility. You're like, oh, do I got to give up my stone cutting if I move into an apartment? You're asking a question like that. Yeah, you are probably not ready for home ownership. What do you mean I got to pay taxes every year? Gee, insurance? Where did that come from? All right. The larger point is you're not ready for home ownership, and until you get out either through driving truck or some kind of job or something, you're not. It doesn't matter where you live with your parents, or it doesn't matter what you're going to study for your career. You need to get out and go explore and travel, not necessarily for fun, but to figures. You need to get away from your folks' place. And then after you save up, it's good. Keep on saving up the money. Then down the road, once you, oh yeah, things are stable. I know what I want to do. You have some clarity. Oh, and I kept driving through this one town to get to my buddy's place. I really like that town. Then you consider buying a house out there. But if you don't have more world experience, I wouldn't buy a house. All right, got a couple super chats here. Alex Patino, a truck driving Latino agent in the field, $5. Get residency in a state where you don't pay state income tax. That's a good idea. Thanks, Alex. You're right. That'd be a great idea. Brilliant. Donna Hanford, our Australian female agent in the field for $5 Australian. Hey, Cappy, too many ifs in this question. Just start at the yeah. Well, see, that's what millennials do. Well, these are Zoomers now. They just barf out. Like, can you take up the pieces of vomit and put my life together for me? And it's like, no. Step 1, no, you're not buying a house. Step 2, yes, you have to give things up if you're going to move out. Step 3, if you're going to drive truck, why move out? Get your own place. Your parents are in. Step 4, if you're not going to get the truck driving thing, then go move and find a job somewhere else and travel to figure out where, you know. All right, I think we're caught up. That's it. See you guys later, Toodles.